You know who made it.
Live from LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, it's Reveting's Whiskey Wednesday. Welcome to Whiskey Wednesday, Revenue Party people. I have a special guest co-host to bring on with me tonight. Welcome, Lauren. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Jessie. I am so excited to be here tonight. While Eddie is away, the girls shall play.
I love that. I saw you post that on LinkedIn today and I got so fired up. And we have some amazing things to get into tonight. Lauren, I really appreciate you being here and stepping in and, taking the time before the show to work on all this with me. You've been doing a lot of really great stuff on LinkedIn. Folks, if you're not following Lauren, her following on LinkedIn is climbing faster than anybody I've seen. She's doing a lot of really great things and helping people find jobs. Okay. She's a recruiter. So you want to be friends with our friend Lauren here. But Lauren, can you step in and give the PSA for Eddie tonight?
Yes, 100%. Whiskey Wednesday is the name, but that's not necessarily the game. If whiskey is not your thing, if alcohol is not your thing, you don't have to have an actual alcoholic beverage. Water, tea, whatever you want is cool. Please do not ever drink and drive. Be safe, be responsible. That's what we want. We want good conversation, and we're so happy you're here with us tonight.
Absolutely. Let me pull myself back in here and change the banner. Sorry, that's on your face there. We also want to tell you about next week's episode. So next week, be sure to check out Reveting's page and click attend, and then click to invite your contacts too, because we have John Barros, James Buckley, Sam Jacobs, and Ryan Walsh coming on. It is going to be a sales super show. I will be outnumbered as a marketer, but hey, it's going to be a great time because I love those nights. So please be sure. And Lauren, let me get you back in solo over here. So we got next week's episode. And I guess I'll join you again because we want to thank, sorry, Lauren, dear. I'm going to switch with you so I can do this.
I don't mind. Okay.
Next week's episode. So thank you to our sponsors, Lead Magic, Headset Advisor. If I didn't have these awesome earrings in, I was all set to put on my awesome headset from Headset Advisor, and as well as Phone Ready Leads. So Lead Magic, if you guys haven't heard of Lead Magic, you should definitely check out leadmagic.io and get that pixel and put it on your website so you have all the data that you need from the people visiting your website. So
okay, hold on, Jessie, really quick. If you've heard of Lead Magic, say yes in the comments right now. Let me hear you. If you've ever heard of Lead Magic before, let me know.
I love that, Lauren. Yeah, let us know. Have you heard of Lead Magic? And if you haven't, say no. And someone in the comments, I'm sure, would gladly tell you about it. Because Jesse Owlett is the founder, and he is an awesome person, a big supporter of Whiskey Wednesday. So thank you, Jesse, for all that. Headset Advisor, you guys are always awesome. Drew, you're tearing up the comments all the time, but we appreciate you. And Phone Ready Leads. So if you have an SDR team and you need to make a whole bunch of phone calls, you're going to want to use Phone Ready Leads because they call through all those phone numbers and they verify that people actually pick up, saving your SDR team a lot of time. So shall we get into today's giveaways, Lauren?
I think we should.
I think we should too. Let me pull this up.
They're insane, y'all.
One. So we're going to be doing some prizes. You guys will be putting in some keywords I'll share here in a moment to enter to win these prizes. The first round of prizes includes a headset from Headset Advisor, $100 Amazon gift card from Sam McKenna, and 30-minute coaching from Troy Barter, who's here tonight and can tell us more about what it'll include. So that's awesome. And then prize 2, check out that turkey. Isn't that sweet? So, Lauren, are you familiar with Prize 2? You were in Brand 30, right?
I actually was not in Brand 30, but I have so much respect for what Brand 30 has done. If y'all are interested in like getting into posting content, I know I help with that, but Brand 30 is also another great way to get involved in posting consistently on LinkedIn. I highly recommend getting involved in Brand 30.
Absolutely. And we also have a couple different, you can like zoom in and kind of see, we got the prospecting playbook from none other than Anthony Natoli, and then Hamish Stevenson. And thank you so much. So we've got some great courses here. $600 value for Prize 2. Prize 3 will include, go ahead and take it away, Lauren.
I mean, you got 99 problems, but an email ain't one with that Lavender Pro free for a year. What's up? That's insane. Hype Fury free for a year and Lead Delta free for a year. Like, don't sleep on this. $1,200 worth of value. That's insane. I mean,
absolutely.
Can I put my in here? I want to win these. I've never won on Whiskey Wednesday. I'm a co-host, y'all. I'm a co-host. A guest host, a guest co-host.
Can I win? Still enter to win. Hype Fury is the tool that Justin Welch uses, and that's when we got connected with Hype Fury, was when we had him on the show. So if you guys see all the great work he's doing, this is definitely a tool you'll want to get in on. But let's show you those keywords you have to enter to win here, and then I'm just like gonna let the guest have her full screen over there. So for Prize 1, you're going to want to tag phone ready leads. So that's, you don't want to have the @ in there. You want to like actually tag them. So you'll put the @ and type it, but just make sure it says only phone ready leads. For Prize 2, we will have Lavender. And for Prize 3, we have Headset Advisor. So that's what
dropping those tags right now.
Exactly. So those are the prizes for tonight, but I think we've made it through all of that on our agenda. So now we can get into our topics. So let's just bring on the guests. I've got the 4 topics on the screen here, but we'll be showing them on when the guests are here as well. So let's just get them on here. Get this party started. So excited to bring on Ryan Scalera. Thank you for being here, Ryan. What's up? Cheers to you. Troy Barter, thank you so much for being here. Cheers, Troy. And we have Alexine Mudawar. Thank you so much for being here. Glad you could make it after, just landing after Surf and Sales with Scott Leese. Good stuff. So, we typically ask our guests to give a 30-second intro, and we do cut you off if you go over 30 seconds. So let's go ahead and start with you, Ryan. Could you tell everybody here a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So what do I say? I'm the head of business development at a company called Flowsome. I love creative prospecting and video selling and discovery for the most part, but that was burned into my soul by Keenan, the author of Gap Selling, when I worked for him. So love everything sales. Started making goofy content on the internet, and for some reason, you guys invited me on Whiskey Wednesday because of it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here. Troy, how about you? Can we get a 30-second intro?
Yes. So founder of SalesOrg.io, we train people on how to break into tech sales and help them get placed. Before that, I did everything from car sales, door-to-door sales, went to Fleetmatics as an SDR, stepped back to start at the bottom, moved to AE director, then went over to PandaDoc. Both companies turned into billion-dollar companies. And here we are. Went out on my own, ironically enough, also because of Keenan, who bitched me up for having a job while also being an entrepreneur. So, yeah, funny enough.
Side note, yeah, interesting. Alexine, 30 seconds. Could you tell us a little about yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Alexine Mudawar. I am CEO of Women in Sales Club. I've been in sales, specifically SaaS sales, for almost 10 years now, which sounds like a really long time all of a sudden. And I am passionate about all things. I love prospecting. I love talking numbers, and I love getting tactical. So excited to be here. My first Whiskey Wednesday.
Awesome. Excited to have you all here. So let's get into this first topic. which was inspired by Tara Robertson, who unfortunately is not well. Tara Robertson with Chili Piper was supposed to be here with us tonight, not doing well, so wasn't able to attend. So this topic, I'm thinking maybe I'll just lead as the marketer and podcaster here, but actually Troy, and I don't know, Alexine, do you podcast at all?
I attend podcasts. People have me on podcasts. I don't even really know how to set up a podcast, or I would. So someone hit me up because I want to start one. So
yeah. And Ryan, I don't know, do you have experience with podcasting?
So I was actually an audio engineer in a past life, so I do know how to set one up. So I could help out there, Alexine. But I've been on a lot of them. Haven't led one yet. Thinking about it in the near future. But yeah, there's a lot of sharp content coming out of the podcasting world, especially when you combine it with video right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Troy, I know you're super active, and I always see these like thought leader type videos. Do you actually have a podcast too?
I should have one started within the next 2 weeks. The first podcast I ever did was in 2006.
No way.
Definitely not a sales podcast. It was back when I was a battle rapper with a friend of mine who actually passed away last year. But yeah, I've done it for a while and guested for a while. And yeah, I'm actually pumped. I think I haven't done it yet, but I think that's where that's where a lot of the fun is going to be, is in podcasting. So I'm pumped to do it for sure.
We have an alarming amount of former rappers on this right now. Like there should be only usually one in a room, but that's funny.
There's not enough, if you ask me.
Oh, you guys both rap?
Yeah,
I did for quite a while. Yeah.
I
was
mean,
not a battle
I play
rapper,
the piano and sing,
Yeah.
so maybe we can do a little like rapidy
So
song
laugh.
before we get done here. But in terms of the topic, podcasting and demand gen, it's actually a really important topic, and I think it's not enough, especially B2B companies have made this transition, at least on the marketing side. So when we think of content marketing, a lot of the times, a lot of companies are still thinking only about blogs and SEO. And, I'm not down playing any of that. I do all of those things. I write blogs, but we are then forgetting about a large segment of people who, and I think I found some numbers beforehand. It's like, according to Podcast Insights, 50% of US homes are podcast fans. That's over 60 million households. So it's safe to say that there's someone who builds a relationship with your brand via a podcast. So that's if you have a podcast. And, all you have to do is talk about the topics that are interesting to you. And I think a lot of people will think when they start a podcast, they're going to want to bring on their customers and maybe, but most often not. And I think there's a lot you could get into in terms of like what to do when you actually set up a podcast. But I think the biggest problem a lot of companies have right now is just getting to the point that you actually are asking the question of how to set up a podcast. Because I will say, from my day job doing deconstructing data for BDEX, and then with Whiskey Wednesday, we don't have this on a podcast yet. It's only a live, but it's very similar. We're sharing thought leadership, and we've built a brand, and we've built an audience. And I know that this is the way that, brands need to start transitioning their content strategy if they want to, remain relevant. Because I'll be honest, if I'm going to search something on the internet, I don't want to scroll through your 1,500 word blog to find my answer. But if I find Ryan Scalera giving me a 10-second TikTok, you can guarantee, or YouTube short, even better, you can guarantee I'm going to watch that. So I guess that's where I'll start off with the podcast and demand gen conversation. But what do you all think about this?
We were talking earlier about how, TikTok could be gone. Man, I hope not, at least not for a little bit. I'm still trying to get all the juice out of that orange, but there's plenty of, who knows what's going on with Twitter, right? I think podcasting is the only one that feels like, man, this is like all but a guarantee that this isn't going anywhere. It could end up on a different platform, but it's a tale as old as time. It's the same as a talk show on the radio from decades ago. It's I don't think it's going anywhere. So I think it makes sense to put eggs in that basket in general. And I think it's a great way, not maybe to build like a giant fan base, but to really create like raving fans, because they really get to know you in the amount of time that you spend when you're on one. So I'm a giant fan of it. I think that it's definitely something that's not going anywhere for sure, and it's only growing. So it makes sense to definitely push some momentum that way.
Absolutely. What were you going to say, Lauren?
I don't think it was me. I think it was Alexine.
Oh, was it Alexine?
Oh shit! My bad, Alexine. I interrupted you.
Oh no, you both started talking at the same time.
Yes. So what I want to say, as far as podcasts go, especially if you're launching these from within a company, I think something that's really unique in a different approach is to start to gather those outside voices. Because I think a lot of times the podcasts that don't necessarily resonate as well with me are the ones that are like super brand driven, where it's like almost like an infomercial for that exact company. I love to hear about topics that are like adjacent to that organization or adjacent to the problems they solve, but from voices that are kind of typically outside of that company. So definitely encourage like companies that are thinking about doing podcasts to sort of think outside of just like their own lens and like really get out there and talk to some of these folks.
Oh man, that is a really great point. Were you going to say something, Ryan?
So I say like 33%, 33%, 33%, whatever, with the 0.33. But you want your partners, your prospects, and your clients. If you can get that and align it to subjects that really matter to your organization, thought leadership, you can put it that way, but really like go into the subjects of what your industry is going through, your ICP is going through, and give like relatable topics. Someone posted earlier about like, having the 10-second video or whatever, and that's what you're going to consume. Well, if you do a podcast with video, the repurposing game is forever right now. And the reality is you can get those hot takes from your customers, from your prospects, and from your partners. And if they're prospects, you just like, it's a lot easier to reach out to someone who came on your company's podcast. Straightforward with it.
Totally. So like, okay, so your company gets to the point where they're like, okay, we think we need to do a podcast. So here's sort of where I would start with some suggestions as well, as like search for similar podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, whichever one. Listen to those, think about what could make your show unique compared to those. You don't want to copy people, but also searching for like industry related topics that haven't been covered yet. So those are always good tips. And then, asking customers about the podcast they listen to. So this is for your customers or your ICP. Ask them, what do they listen to? Where do they listen to them? And create a poll. Like you can get on LinkedIn and ask a poll, like, what would you like to learn about? And, I think that there's a little bit of research that can go into it beforehand, just to like, before you get started, make sure that you're going to do the right thing. But also like, don't spend too much time researching, just do it. We're not like sponsored by StreamYard or anything, but we are affiliates. We use StreamYard. I'll put the code here, but like StreamYard, you can take StreamYard, you can connect it with Anchor.fm, and then Anchor.fm will allow you to do RSSs to like Apple Podcasts, all the different ones. So we do that for Deconstructing Data to do what you were talking about, Ryan, and repurpose it. And I mean, we get so much from that because we get the short form videos, we get the long form videos, we get the long form audio for the podcast. And then we take the audio and we pull the transcript and we write a blog from it. So, like this is the future. This is how we're going to start creating demand. This is where your audience is. They're out on a run. They're out doing things. They're not reading your blog. They're listening to your podcast. So anything else anyone wants to add on that?
Don't be boring. Like, I think that's the big one is like with a lot of the like business podcasts, like I don't follow like any of them because they all feel the same. They like, and it's like, where is everyone paying attention? And there's a difference between B2B and B2C, but at the end of the day, like, does a business listen to a podcast? Like, and if they do, it's probably just to get valuable information. That's fair. But I would just say you can still present valuable information in a way that has some entertainment value that'll get people to listen longer than 2 minutes. And I think that's like the miss kind of across the board when it comes to a lot of that genre of podcasts for sure.
Totally. All right. Well, I'm going to switch into topic 2, which I think is one of our more exciting topics of the night. And I know it comes up on Whiskey Wednesday a lot. Troy, this was inspired by your post. cursing on TikTok. It was about, I think the post that you made was on LinkedIn, but it was about why you weren't posting as much on LinkedIn because you couldn't spend as much time bleeping everything out. So it's just easier on TikTok. Tell us more.
So the first thing, yeah, that is true. But also, like, I have posted some stuff where I've cursed in it, and it does get more engagement on LinkedIn also. In reality, it was definitely kind of a cute way to get more people to go to my TikTok, because I could post it there. And also, if you hint at the fact that you're cursing there and not here, people are likely to head that way. It's odd. It does feel like on both. Like, if I post a LinkedIn and say, warning, this isn't safe for work, I cursed a lot in this, like, which I've had to say on a few of them that I posted on LinkedIn, it gets more engagement. It gets more people interested, more people click it, more people watch it. So there's something to that. Does it transfer to like a direct sale in terms of like, yeah, you should be cursing? That I'm unsure on. Definitely don't have any data on that, but it does feel like from a content perspective, it does get more engagement, at least on the stuff that I'm doing for sure.
Definitely. So you guys are in sales. So like, I hear that like you're more personable in selling when you cuss. Is that true?
Okay, so Gong did some data on this. I was trying to like quickly search it, but I don't know where to pull it up. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was kind of like a bell curve of like, depending on which part of the sales process you're in, that impacts like when the cursing. Like, I think if it was like the beginning stages, it was a little sketchier. But if you were like deeper in to the sales process, it was actually like more impactful. Typically, I think the idea behind all of this and the data is when people feel more comfortable, they tend to cuss. And so it tends to show that you have a good relationship and that the walls are coming down a little bit. But I wish I had that in front of me, but I'm pretty sure there was kind of like a trajectory that followed the actual sales cycle that they looked into.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, I think there was something about like, if they curse first and you don't, it actually the chances of it closing decreases. But if you curse back, it actually boosts it, which is, I think, interesting. And listen, I worked for Keenan. Keenan curses constantly, and I was like a softer version of his brand. In my daily life, I curse constantly, probably way too much. But on LinkedIn, I've kind of held back a little bit. I don't know if my content lends itself the way that Troy's does, where when Troy curses, I'm like, yeah, I feel that. I don't know. Not everybody's going to be okay with this. And that's something that you're going to have to reconcile with. Adam J says, know your audience. I don't know if my audience would be down for me dropping F-bombs left and right on LinkedIn, but on TikTok, I probably could get away with it.
I found the data. Do we want to hear the data really quickly?
For sure.
I'm a data nerd. So, okay. So basically what it says, your win rate, if only the prospect curses, is 44%. If only the rep curses, it's 48%. And if both of you curse, it's 50%. So little interesting little data nugget there.
Oh man.
I wonder if there's something to those studies where it's like, it's the type of salesperson that curses is also the type that might bring the deal in. Like, if you're like, hey, we've got a study of all NBA players, and the ones that wear Steph Curry's signature shoe seem to have this really high shooting percentage. It's like, oh, who wears those? And Steph Curry does. That's why. Like, I don't know if that's the case or not, right? But I'd be curious. Like, I'm always curious about those studies, and it's like, is it the action, or is it the people that do that action, and that's why? And there's kind of no telling. But obviously, the more data that you have, the more likely it is that it's an accurate trend. But it is like, I always like, I wonder.
Troy, like, so this gets me rev up. Like, I love Gong. I love Gong Labs. I've obviously done a lot of content. I did a rap song about them back in the day. I can't stand the fact that there is a lack of context to a lot of the things that they're saying. Oh, the top reps asked 23 questions. What questions did they ask? What were the quality of those questions? You can't derive that from just data points out in the distance. It's grabbing statistics without the full picture. So, like, I see this whole thing. That is it picking up every time everyone drops an F-bomb or an S-bomb? Like, what is the word that they're tracking in the cursing? So yeah, tequila shots there.
Yeah, I think the best study is your own A players at whatever place you're at. That's the best study. Those like everything else is good things that you might be able to pick up on that might work, but there's definitely a much higher guarantee when it's like, no, this person is this product, same persona, same industry for the most part. Obviously, that's the stuff that I always leaned on the most. But I do like those, and they are obviously helpful to test with what you're doing. I would never treat them like they're the gospel, but they're like a great way of being like, oh, maybe I can incorporate this where my A+ player that I'm competing with isn't doing that yet. Let me test it. I would definitely say dip a toe in the water when it comes to that type of stuff, and don't just jump in the pool when you don't have any data for yourself on what you're testing, for sure.
Yep. Well, is there anything else on cursing on TikTok we want to get into before we hop into halftime?
It's fucking great.
I mean, Lauren, what would you say?
I will tell you, it's not necessarily TikTok, right? But I talk to everybody behind the scenes as a recruiter, whether you want to admit that your boss is talking to me or not. They probably are. Everybody curses more than you think they do. And you should probably just be a little bit more comfortable with it. I'm not saying do it like first sentence as you walk in a job interview, but you can probably be okay saying the one word you thought maybe you couldn't, like, you're probably okay. And that's like, just be comfortable and be yourself. And if you don't curse, don't curse. That's fine. But if you're me, if I don't cuss in the first 5 minutes of the interview and then you actually hire me, you're going to fire me the first 5 minutes I work for you. So just be yourself, be who you are, own it, own who you are. And that's it.
Cheers to that. Cheers to
I like
owning
that.
it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And at that, we are at halftime. So I'm going to give our guests just a little break here. And Lauren, you and I are going to get into some fun stuff here really quick. So just a reminder, everybody, this is what you need to be putting in. Tag phone ready leads for prize 1. Lavender for prize 2, and headset advisor for prize 3. I shouldn't see the @ sign in the comment. I should only see headset advisor if you properly tag them. So, Lauren, you had some stuff that you were going to share with us for this halftime, some jobs. There's lots of layoffs on LinkedIn. Can you share some positive news? I'm going to pull these jobs up that you sent to me. Hopefully they're here.
Yeah. So while you work on that, regardless of if Jesse gets these jobs up or not, I'm recruiting for a number of jobs. I have over 150 active jobs going through the holidays. Don't stop. Don't slow down. Don't feel discouraged. Find a recruiter. There are people actively posting, actively looking for you. Keep going. The holidays, literally, people think that like it slows down. It doesn't slow down. I tell people all the time, during the holidays or when people get frustrated with their job, they're frustrated their boss is making them work, they're frustrated their boss called them on Thanksgiving. Heads up, if you are a leader right now in sales, don't call your people tomorrow. Don't message them about anything. You will make them call me if you do. But there are so many jobs out there that there's a ton of things hiring. I have a number of SaaS jobs in Austin. If you are in Austin, please reach out. I will have a few SaaS jobs in Seattle coming. But yeah, if you are looking, don't slow down over the holidays. Don't get discouraged. There are still people out there looking for you too.
Lauren, I am just now getting these jobs, so I'm going to put them up here for you so you can tell everybody about them.
Yeah, you're good. If you are in Austin, my client right now is looking for cybersecurity background for all of these roles that you see on the screen. There's a number of them. I also have a fully remote software engineer that does not require cybersecurity experience. I'm literally recruiting for everything now. If you're not in SaaS, let me know. Literally, I will try to get back to you, but don't DM me. My email address is in my header. Email me. I will definitely get back to you if you do that. And I would love to chat with any of you about anything you're looking for and try to help you or connect you, because if I can't, my network can.
That's awesome and super important right now because so many people are losing jobs. And just real quick for another halftime announcement about Lead Magic. So everybody should go check out Jesse Owlet's free email checker. I believe that's what he's calling it. Jesse, if you're in the comments, feel free to correct me. I'm going to put something here. Let's see. I guess I'll put it in the comments. And that is what you guys want to email. It's a readmagic@email. You want to email it, and you can put any subject or body or anything, but email it with whatever you want. And Jesse Owlette will send you some information. It's pretty awesome. But Jesse, are you here in the comments? I am not seeing you. Yes, here, he's there. He posted it. So definitely want to check that out. Tell him what I missed in the comments, Jesse. But yeah, there'll be more on that free email checker. But without further ado, shall we bring the guest back in and get into topic 3?
I think we should.
I think we should too. So we got Troy, Ryan, Alexine, and I'm going to pull up topic number 3, which is the one I'm most excited about. Alexine, I pulled this from your post, and you are the CEO and founder of Keep Women in Sales Club. Is that what it's called, or Women in Sales Club?
Oh, Women in Sales Club, but could work. Keep Women in Sales. That's good too.
Well, your post I think was about keeping women in sales. Like once they get there, like how do you keep them there? So could you kick us off on this topic? How do you keep women in sales? And maybe we should start off even with like, how do we get more women in sales?
So this that post and that topic came about from a conversation with Mary Shea. I had no less than, I think, 15 people tell us to connect and get to know one another. So we actually finally had a live conversation, and just an incredible conversation. But it came from a question of like, what is your goal? And I kind of thought on it for a second. And that was the immediate answer I came to. I was like, I want to keep women in sales, because I think so much of the sales content and messaging and just overall efforts are really focused on bringing women into sales. And of course, that's really important. We want more women in sales. I don't see so much on the other side of it about actually keeping women in the seat, keeping them happy, making sure they have opportunities for advancement, and making sure this is a fulfilling career path. And that's something that's like really, really important to me, because of course we can bring folks into these roles, but are we supporting them long-term to find success? So I guess I'll just kick it off there, but that was really the emphasis behind that post and where that came from.
Absolutely. I mean, as a recruiter, Lauren, I feel like, is this like when companies come to you and they're like, we need to diversify, is it harder to find women in sales and also keep women in sales, or anything from your perspective on that?
So right now, I feel like I have a lot of women wanting to break into sales, which is wonderful. I deal with a lot of sales leaders who are men, just being very straightforward. I would love to see more women in sales leaders positions. That's why I do what I do, trying to push more women into the industry. But I've had a wonderful connection with a few female sales leaders who are badasses in their industry, and it's super inspiring to see what they're doing. And I think that the more women are showing that they are who they are and sharing their story, the more other women will feel comfortable getting into sales and having that as a career. And the more that we keep this kind of like remote work and flexible work going, right? Like forever, women couldn't be who we wanted to be in the workforce because we needed to be mothers and we needed to raise children. And now we're actually getting to, listen, I sit in the car line to pick up my kid from school for 2 hours a day, but I have my laptop in my lap and I'm working the whole time. You couldn't do that even 10 years ago, 5 years ago. So things are evolving and mindsets are shifting, and that just has to keep happening for things to keep going. Like Tom says, his daughter is going to be a boss in sales. I want to see that, Tom. That's amazing. But the flexible work environment is helping with that, and women getting to feel like they get to do both.
Absolutely. All great points. And did you guys see, or well, Alexine, I'll give this one to you from Sarah Hank. She says, my daughter Leela is watching today. She's a freshman in high school. What is the best part about being a woman in sales?
Hi, Leela. Hope you join Women in Sales Club one day. We would love to have you. The best part of being a woman in sales for me was the ability to have financial freedom. Really early on in my sales career, almost immediately, I found success, and that ultimately turned into a very lucrative career. For me, that meant that I never had to worry about things. I was able to buy property really young. I was able to buy a car in all cash. Like there were these big things and these big goals that I had for myself and a certain type of lifestyle that I wanted to live. And so it's really rewarding to be able to have the financial means and have a career that provides the financial means for me to be able to accomplish those things on my own. So I'm a huge advocate for sales. I always talk about what a lucrative career this can be. And I'm constantly trying to help share that message with women so that they know that this can be a very lucrative career and it can provide you a pathway to financial freedom.
I love that. Oh, goodness. We have a guest, Karen. She comes every week. I don't know if you guys remember the first message I sent. There was a little blurb in there that she might visit us. But welcome, Karen. How's it going?
Hey, Jesse. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. How are you, Karen?
Good. I'm actually looking for the manager of LinkedIn. I'm kind of getting sick of talking to the middlemen and women here, but, I really need to talk to somebody who has some authority right now. I'm really fucking pissed.
We don't work at LinkedIn. I'm sorry. We're just on a LinkedIn Live.
I'm just a recruiter, Karen. I can't help you.
Listen, I'll tell you what I'm mad about. And it just keeps happening. I go on a website and I click a form and I want the ebook. So I download the book and it comes into my email. And then all of a sudden, you guessed it, 19 sass fucking kids keep calling and calling my personal cell phone. And I hate it. And I want to be taken off the list. The data providers, all of these cats, the Seamless, the Ferrari driving CEOs, all of them. I want to be taken off the list. What do you assume? Get me off your list, guys.
What was that, Troy?
Said shout out Seamless. I'm pretty sure he drives a Lambo. That's actually why I bought Seamless. I was like, oh,
I like his car. I just don't like his assassins calling my cell phone. I'm on the soccer field with little Johnny. I work, I'm in HR, right? Some of the hours are demanding. I usually get to Johnny around 4:15 in the afternoon. He's on the soccer field. I get out about 3:30, grab a cup of coffee, the third one of the day, and then watch little Johnny kick soccer goals.
Okay, Karen. Calm it down. It's called a do not.
Never tell them to calm down, dude. You got to know that. Come on.
I'm Karen, and I'm not calming down until I talk to the manager.
It's called a do not call list. Just put yourself on that. And I agree. I don't think you should ever get 15 SaaS email or phone calls to your single box. This sales organization is massively screwed up by not giving one person to reach out with something of actual value to you in that email. So I'm actually on the Karen side here.
Well, it's not the emails. I don't mind the emails. It's when the SaaS kids demon dial me all day. They keep calling my personal cell phone all day long. I would never tell women to go into sales because they might become SaaS kids. Then I'd want them all fired.
Fair enough.
I don't know if that made any sense, but you see what I'm saying?
I would.
Karen's right in this episode.
I mean, I would guess if she bought, they'd probably stop calling though. So maybe just hear them out. You never know. I mean, you downloaded the ebook. The first off, strike one who downloads ebooks. But what was the ebook about? It would be question one, and question two would be is what they're calling about relevant. And if the answer is yes, why aren't you taking a fucking demo, Karen? Come on. You got a half hour. You're out there watching soccer. Johnny's not scoring any goals. He's preparing the orange slices and the Capri Suns for everybody else. Come on, you got a half hour while you're sitting.
Well, it was called 31 Days to Building a Better HR Department was the first one. The other one was called HR Redesign and Architecture, and it was very colorful. The third one was called 7 Advanced Tricks to Optimize Your HR Department for Conversion and Helping Others.
Karen, you downloaded 4 ebooks for different subjects relating to improving
These
your
titles
HR
are
process and
very
job.
interesting.
However, it seems like you have a problem that you are looking to solve, actively looking to solve. Now, I understand 15 dials to a personal cell phone while Johnny is on the soccer field is inappropriate. However, did you at one point listen to any of the problems they were proposing you may have and the solution that could be out there? Because you're obviously searching, but did you let them at least address why they may be calling because of those very specific white papers you downloaded?
Well, I am a director, right? I was promoted, so that's a big deal.
Congratulations.
You're welcome. Thank you. So I am a director, and I'm sure they're looking at my title, my seniority, and they're getting excited because I download it. They probably think, when I download the 30 greatest tips for HR directors or 30 greatest ideas, tips, and tricks standard edition, and I download that, they probably think I might want to buy their $100,000 HRMS SaaS solution. And I just want to know why they keep calling my personal cell phone.
You got promoted to a director and like a really senior position while looking at blog articles and white papers for advice on your job?
The company is really
but go ahead.
I've seen CROs do that.
True.
Well, it's better than our VP of sales who's on fantasy football all day, trading his wires all day.
Hey, Travis Kelce's killing it right now. Hold on. Wait, that's
Our
important
VP of
business.
sales, I have HR data that shows he's been on fantasy football all day long.
A lot of big games tomorrow, Karen. All
Karen,
right?
I think you should just put your phone on Do Not Disturb. I think that might help this entire issue.
Boom. I don't
Much
think
like
anyone's
I
ever
do
done
at all
that.
times.
Yeah, but what if little Johnny's school's calling me and these spoofer callers, they call them spoofers, they use one of your local numbers. These SaaS kids have these evil phone burning dialers. They call them burners or something. I don't get that. It's like they're like something we used to smoke back in the day when I was back in college. I mean, it's something they're doing with these phones. They got 85 calls going out. Which way? They can't even tell. And whoever picks it up first, I'm on the other end. I always pick up my call first because it could be little Johnny's soccer coach or his trainer for his other things. I mean, what do you want? I mean, it's 4 o'clock. Of course I'm out of work. Why would I be there past 4?
I'm like 99%
Johnny.
sure Karen is Ryan Reiser. Like 99% sure.
No.
I don't like Ryan Reiser. I think he runs a great service and they're a sponsor of the show, but I do not like Reiser. You tell Reiser, stop calling me. He's one of the most evil ones out there. Reiser.
Colin.
He's giving the SaaS kids and those. I watched one of his YouTubes. There were about 3 people watching. It was an interesting YouTube, but he had a bunch of logos. I'm sure he's taken some sponsors. Smart guy, but I just don't want him calling me. Just stop calling my damn phone.
Yeah, Karen, I don't know.
Karen, when would be the best time for you to take a look at something like that, though?
That I can talk to. I don't want to insult this group. You seem like nice people, and I don't think any one of you would ever call me.
Oh,
I'd be angry.
Karen, I laugh at you like I laugh at the people in my comments. Oh my God.
I don't make comments. I only do direct messages. So if I want to fire somebody at my company.
Yeah.
And I do it on Slack. I do the got a second.
Got a second, and that's supposed to warn them.
Wow.
It's a good way to give someone a heads up they're getting fired. You tell them the same day.
Who's more hated, salespeople or HR people? I would love to put that poll up.
Oh, yeah, that's a good poll.
You feel like
HR
salespeople are more
what are you
hated?
talking about?
Yeah, salespeople are more hated, but salespeople's hatred for HR
I run a
is
pretty big
strong.
HR department here, and it's a pretty reliable organization. We take care of the people in the company. I'm looking to be a chief people company officer at some point.
Let's go.
Yeah, HR's never really on your side. People need to remember that. They're not your friend. They're there to protect the company, right, Karen?
Well, we're here to make sure we get the right SaaS kids in the organization. The ones that aren't calling demon dialers.
Demon dialing.
Demon
Hashtag demon dialing.
dialers. Oh man, that's a good one.
Well,
Insane.
Jesse, next time I come on the show, I'd like the LinkedIn manager to be available. I have called in every week except for one when I had a little bit too much fun with my husband Belson, who hates all SDRs. He wrote the yellow book called All BDRs Should Die, a horrible slow death.
It's a fire book.
Yeah,
That is a good book.
I just dropped that LinkedIn post. Which profession is hated more, HR or sales?
I'm glad you did it.
I'm going to go vote on that one. I know I'm voting for sales and the SaaS kids who keep calling my personal cell phone.
Over and over. Sorry, Karen.
Yeah.
Maybe Eddie and I
Stop,
can round up,
Jesse.
maybe Eddie and I can round up someone from LinkedIn to come here that maybe would talk to you. I don't know.
I would love it. If
Think on that.
we could get somebody from LinkedIn, even if it's an SDR from LinkedIn, I'll give them a piece of my mind. I mean, I've got a big HR department to run here, and I'm out at 3:30 every single day, so I can go see little Johnny. Work-life balance. That's what we call it here in HR.
I know
Yeah.
someone who used to work for LinkedIn, Karen. I'll bring them on for you. They used to work for LinkedIn. They'll give you the in.
And they represent the company because I'm angry, and I want to talk to someone who can make changes in the world, Lauren.
They can tell you what's really going on.
Be the
How
change
did the
you want to be
SaaS
in the
kids
world.
get my number? It's got to be anonymized. They can't guess. Are they guessing the numbers? I wonder sometimes. Are they guessing? I mean, I do enter it in on their form, but I figured they'd have some privacy settings, right?
Maybe.
Anyways. All right, well, thanks
We'll check
again.
back with
I'm
you
let
next
down
week,
again.
Karen.
Yeah, just
Appreciate
stop
you.
calling my fucking cell phone for crying out loud. I gotta
don't
go.
know.
Bye.
Bye.
What a person for HR.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's resident Karen. She comes every week. Some people like her. Like, sometimes marketers agree with her. Actually, we've had some salespeople even like, who like really was good with Karen was Josh Braun. Josh Braun had Karen almost like broken down into tears. Like she was just ready to like
Tactical
snuggle up
empathy.
with like Daddy Josh Braun. I mean, anyway, so let's get into this fourth topic. The rise of evangelism. Ryan, this one was inspired by you. Can you kick us off on this topic?
Yeah, sure. That was not the transition. Wait, yeah, sure. It's the rise of evangelism. All right. What I wanted to talk about this subject about is specifically because you probably notice a lot of evangelist titles coming out at companies. I speak to a lot of them, Will Aiken, Nick Capozzi, Jen Allen. A lot of people have been doing incredible work as far as content creation for companies. This goes back to like the death of the SDR idea, where I believe that the least tenured, least polished employees in an organization are the people driving a lot of the top of funnel, where I actually think it should be very much the opposite in a lot of ways. Now, should the CEO be doing it? Maybe not. But Scott Leese brought up a great point a long time ago. Like if you hired a John Barrows who understood your buyers, the problems they go through, the lacks in the industry and the alternatives, and you sent John Barrows out with however many followers and connections he has, and he relentlessly not only created content about the problems that your product solves, but also talked to customers and understood their perspective. I think we get trapped in an echo chamber with marketing and sales where we just think we're going to try something, we're going to message it a certain way, and that's how it should be done. But with the rise of evangelism, I think distribution channels are becoming more and more and more expensive. So how do we combat that in B2B? we copy what they're doing with like Kim Kardashian and her private equity fund. Kim Kardashian, whatever lingerie brand dropped, like it's worth $3.2 billion. But in the end of the day, what is it? She brought so much attention, which is what the market is really valued on, as well as just like flow of people over to this. Now, do I think we should have Kim Kardashians or just like influencers talking about our products? No, I think that's going to die really quickly. The people posting about RepView, where everybody's getting offered money, just post about RepView, I think that dies really soon. However, someone that intimately knows a problem in the industry that can cohesively speak on it and articulate this to not only the customers, the prospects, partners, etc., I think that is going to be one of the most valuable positions in an organization. I think that Jen Allen is one of the most explicitly successful versions of this in the industry right now. So that's part of my rant. Happy to dive deeper on that.
Oh, that was good. Would any of the other guests add anything else, like the transition to evangelism from influencers? It's okay if not. Yeah, go ahead.
You're getting paid to promote something. Let people know you're getting paid to promote that thing. That's it. Just be fair about it at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? I will plug in there and say that one thing Eddie and I have done is that we say, we don't want to plug any brands unless we use them and we really believe in them. So, like ClickUp, for example, we use ClickUp. They've been a sponsor. We're affiliates for StreamYard. We can use it so we can actually speak to it. And so you could say, we're not influencers, we're evangelists for a lot of these brands like Headset Advisor. Like I said, I got these big chunky earrings, but this thing is freaking awesome. And I've been offered some advisorships, and I was, an advisory, whatever. What do you call them? Advisory, like advisor. And I didn't even have access to the product. And so, it sounded like an awesome opportunity. But I didn't feel comfortable going out in front of my audience and talking about it when I didn't know whether I really did actually like it. And so I think that's sort of it's happening. Is that what you said?
I said it's half baked.
It's half baked. Yeah.
Like when I sit here and tell y'all I like lavender, I pay full price for lavender, and I'm happy to pay full price for lavender because it's a great product, and you should too. You shouldn't expect necessarily a discount just for using it or because you promote it. And if people are getting a discount, that's great. I'm not saying don't, and I'm not hating on that. I'm just saying be honest about it at that level, right? Like, I don't necessarily get paid for anything I promote. If I'm promoting something, it's because I genuinely like the product and it works for me. So just be real with the people who are following you, because at the end of the day, people are actually spending their money on things that you're promoting.
I might be destroying the next portion that you mentioned, but like, let's just talk about Jesse Oulier, or I don't know what Jesse's last name actually is pronounced like, but he has been talking about email deliverability. And I really do feel like this is something that needs to be talked about amongst BDRs, amongst any organization that sends emails or uses a sales engagement tool. He's an evangelist for the reality that we're coming into in deliverability in B2B SaaS. 100%. He doesn't need to have a product, although he does have a solution to help with this. He doesn't need one. He's just talking about something that so many people care about solving. It's what wrote me in. I kept hearing about it from multiple people. I saw 95% open rates. I saw 7% reply rates. You better believe, as a BDR leader, my ears were perked, and I hit up Jesse immediately. I was like, we need to talk, because we're getting 0.7% reply rates. That's what I think evangelism really is, not of this product. It's discussing what's going on and what your buyers actually want to fix.
Totally. Great point. Well, with that, should we get into the guru of the week? Ooh, I don't think we'll be getting a rap, although we talked about it pre-show. We got 2 rappers here. So, but the guru of the week. We usually do a drum roll and we'll like count down to 3 and let you all announce them at the same time. So let me get ready because I'm going to pop this person up on the screen. So 1, 2, 3. Who's the guru?
Jesse Willette.
Jesse Willette.
We all had different pronunciations.
Absolutely. I know. Yeah. We need to find out, like, how do we say Jesse Willette?
He needs to clear this up.
Ryan, you threw his name out there when we were discussing this in the DM. Do you want to tell everybody why it was that you threw him out there?
I mean, kind of back to the point that I just said, you know, the major sales engagement platforms are not discussing this, but the reality is that it's likely if you have lower than a 3% reply rate on your emails, you are not landing in an inbox. You're hitting spam. And if you hire an IT person to go dig into it, which my company had done, and they were like, no, everything's fine. However, our like CS people were emailing folks and landing in spam that were customers of ours. The reality is that domain reputation, health, and whatever inbox placing is so bad in this world. You're never going to hear this from SalesLoft, Outreach, Groove, any of these companies. But if you don't come up with a plan for this right now, you're in trouble. And I've been completely like, it's like he came to me and handed like me the blue pill or the red pill. And he's like, do you want to send more volume or do you actually want to land in an inbox? And once that happened, like now me and him are chatting about how I'm going to fix it. But good Lord, I'm scared for the future of sales engagement for what's changed in the past year. I can't say it as good as him, though.
Absolutely. And then I know Ryan mentioned it first, then Troy, you jumped in, and Alexine, you jumped in. So Troy, was there anything you wanted to add?
I just feel like Jesse's content, like Jesse, he's in like the box. I think is it Justin Michael also, who are like the folks that are just like way smarter than me. That like I follow particularly because of that. Like they have info that I could not figure out. But it's just all of his stuff is logical. It's actionable. It's not just a strategy change. It's an actual actionable thing that you can work on the execution of, which I feel like is kind of rare on LinkedIn and really on any platform when it comes to the gurus. So I was full-fledged in agreement that I think he definitely deserves Guru of the Week.
That's good. Yay.
More than just guru, like really quick, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Jesse's amazing. Jesse wants everybody in every aspect to level up. If you want to get in SaaS, if you want to break in the industry, it like Jesse will be there for you. I have been embraced by Jesse. Super like big shout out to Jesse. Just had to throw that out there really quick.
He truly is the SaaS pirate.
Absolutely. So I asked earlier if you guys were in the SaaS Yacht Club. So Alexine, have you heard the SaaS Yacht Club?
No, I guess I'm not in it. If I haven't
All right,
heard of it.
we'll have to connect afterwards. I think you'd love it.
Okay.
But that's the Guru of the Week. So we've made it through all 4 topics. The Guru of the Week. So now we just have to give away prizes. Now, I don't. If you guys are like tired, I know that like I feel bad, Alexine, because I know you just got back into the country like what at 1 a.m. you said. So like. If you have to go, I completely get it. Of course, like I want to get to know you and I hope you can stick around. We have the after party on Google Hangout. The audience attends. But real quick, I'm just going to give away gifts. So usually Eddie does this part of the show. Eddie's like the sponsor and the gift giving guy. So I don't know if you saw me. I went live earlier trying to test this tool. So let's hope I can make it happen. Y'all have like one more chance. Type in phone ready leads to win prize 1. Lavender, tag Lavender to win prize 2. There aren't that many that have entered. So, write it in the comments a couple times, increase your odds. Lavender, prize 2. We got Headset Advisor, prize 3. Go ahead and keep plugging in Lavender and Headset Advisor. I'm going to go ahead and start with the phone ready leads. Let's see, phone ready leads. I got to share my screen so you guys can like see the thing. And I don't have multiple screens because I'm in a hotel. So it's gonna look crazy at first, but that's okay. So here we go. Phone ready leads. We're gonna draw who's gonna win. Normally we play music, but I don't have music right now. So the winner is Lauren. You finally won prize one. Oh my gosh.
Everyone.
It's rigged. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, I've attended Whiskey Wednesday from the beginning, and I have never won. And I entered 1,000 times in the comments, and I entered once tonight.
Congratulations, Lauren. All right, prize 2. Okay, looks like some people are plugging it in now. So prize 2 is for at Lavender. So plug it in. You got like 2 seconds. Here we go. I'm getting ready to draw. Let me share the screen.
Damn, I didn't know I could win. I would have commented.
You would have.
I literally asked you right
comment real
before.
quick.
I come every week and I've never won. Please let me enter.
I've been bothering Will for a long time. I told him I was going to write him a music like a music video, do a total Lavender music video for him. But he's got Lavender Tom or whatever it is.
Brandy Bob won.
Lavender
Congratulations, Brandy. Prize 2. Let me write this down, Brandy, even though I guess we have it live. So Brandy Bomb prize 2.
Email's about to be fire.
And for prize 3, we are going to be doing, am I still sharing my screen? No, I am not. I'm going to share the screen. We're going to do headset advisor. Let's go. Who's going to win? Prize 3.
Mark Mack.
I
swear to God.
Who are you
I
gonna?
think Lauren's gonna win twice.
Oh,
No.
man.
Mark Mack. I knew it.
Mark Mack, are you kidding me? Mark Mack has won like so many times, I feel like.
He's the man, though, so that's fair.
Mark,
Yes,
you
that's
deserve
not
it.
me. All right.
That is freaking amazing.
You got to show up, and Mark
Mark
Mack
Mack.
shows up.
He shows up
does
every
show up.
week. Mark Mack, like, yes, every week. He's incredible. And he drops the knowledge in the comments. So if
He's the
you're
man.
not reading, you should be reading.
Whenever I call him, he says, "I always answer Ryan Scalera," and that's the funniest way to answer.
That is such a G'd up old school sales way of answering the phone. I fucking love that a lot.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, and you know what? Mark Mack always comes to our after party. So like you're right, he does always show up. He is awesome and reliable. The party
He really
never ends. What was that, Lauren?
He really is.
He really is.
My wife is on the couch cracking up at me right now.
Yeah, it's a party on LinkedIn. She can come join. It's about to be a party on Google Hangout, and I'm going to put this link in the comments so y'all can join us in Google Hangout. We always say we'd love to have our guests join. We understand if you can't, but it is a party. It's where everybody gets to, let their hair down and really like talk about what they want to talk when we're off the live. So we would love to get you in the Google Hangout. I put it in the private chat. So here, let me put it in again. So just at the bottom, but that is the link to join. Everybody in the comments, I hope here, let me pull this up so you all see that it's there. Oh, you didn't get the link? Yeah, there's the link. But I will close this out. You all, thank you so much for being here. I don't know what happened to Troy and Ryan, but Alexine, it was so wonderful to meet you. I hope we get a chance to talk some more sometime. Maybe we can connect down the road. Lauren, thank you so much for
the after party.
I'll see you at the after party. Oh, it looks like Troy tried to come back, but
We'll see you over there, Troy.
Yeah, go ahead and hop on over to the Google Hangout, and I'm going to close out with an outro video. So thank you so much, everybody.